There we go. I was muted. All right. I'm really excited for this. Let me just tweet out that I'm live. Okay. So let's play with Airtable. This is actually a big motivation for moving to Gatsby, is using Airtable. So I've got, I should have brought this up. Here we go. So I'm going to start building out this Airtable. I've got basically all of my talks, podcasts, whatever else in this giant chunk of markdown. It's not very pretty. I'm gonna, oops, sorry, gotta move this over. Just gotta turn down the music in my headphones. Oh man, this got crazy. This music on Pretzel is so hit or miss. Okay, anyway, I have this giant chunk of markdown here that's got all of my talks and podcasts and everything from it goes all the way down to 2016, and I'm still a little on the fence as to whether I still need this. I started just like adding this to my old Ghost site in 2016 because I was starting to build up. I was starting to give some talks at local meetups and starting to do all that stuff. But yeah, I need to make this a little bit more sustainable. And so I want to start doing things like adding this to a Airtable, and then I can just have this display on my Gatsby site and not have to worry about it. So over in the code, this is what it looks like. I've just got this like giant chunk of markdown. It's not very pretty, but I mean, it's worked for like almost 4 years now, 3 years at least. Yeah, I guess what was my first talk was April 13th, 2016. So yeah, right at 4 years. That's pretty crazy. Intro to RxJS and observables in Angular 2. Man, those were the days. Okay, so I already off camera configured my .env with my Airtable keys so that I wouldn't have to show that on camera, because apparently Airtable keys are really secret. So what we're gonna do is just install the Gatsby source Airtable plugin. We're just gonna follow this tutorial and try to get this working. My goal for the day is just to at least get something pulled from Airtable showing up here, and then I don't need to sit here and like manually add this in. The other thing I am kind of interested in exploring is if I can parse, all of these are in the same format, and I feel like with some regex ninja skills, I could parse this and translate it into a format that I could send to Airtable. The only problem there is I've done some regex stuff, but this might be pretty tedious. But I might experiment with it for a little bit during the stream, and if it gets boring quickly, then I'll just move on. But okay, let's just get started with installing the Airtable plugin. So I'll go ahead and do this, and I'm gonna pull this over to the side so I can look at it myself. Okay, hop back over, clear that out. We're gonna say npm install save. Well, you don't need save anymore, I don't think you do. Gatsby source Airtable. Let that install. I see we've got Angel and we've got Tim. how's everybody doing today? How's lockdown life out there? All right, so that's installed. And okay. This song is really stupid. I really wish we could listen to like copyrighted music on streams. I'm sorry to the artist Burned by Lucille Croft. I just couldn't keep a straight face during that. Okay. So next thing we got to do is we got to set up our Gatsby config for this. So let's see. Whoops. Okay. Go back there. Okay. So in the Gatsby config, just like any other plugin, we need to configure it. So we need to say resolve Gatsby source Airtable. And then pass in an options object, it looks like, with the API key, which is going to be process.end.airtable API key, I think is what I called it. I'll look later. And then, actually only need, I think the only other thing I need is the tables array with an object, and it's got base ID, which is going to be process.m.airtable base ID, I think is what I called it. And the table name, which is process.env.airtable table name, I think. Let me scroll down on the over here off screen to look at what I called these things. Airtable API key, Airtable base, and then Airtable table name. Yeah, that should be right. Okay. So let's run Gatsby develop now and see if it pulls in. Let's see if it works. I got to look into that warning here, size by pixel density. I don't know what's going on with that. Something with Gatsby image. So we should be able to pull up the GraphQL Explorer here in a second and see the Airtable stuff so we can build a query. Okay, let's go. Let's grab this guy. Well, we have all Airtable, so that's a good sign. And let's see. Let's just like get all of the edges here. I've never looked at the Airtable data, so I don't actually know what it's gonna look like. I've looked at the REST endpoint. Let's see. Aha! I see column names. That's exciting. Ho ho! Okay, well that was like too easy. That was stupid easy. Okay, so this is interesting. So I wanna change this query though. So each one has a data. So it's node edges. Yeah, that was like so easy. The only thing I didn't show on camera was adding the environment variables. Like otherwise I didn't like prep for this at all. I knew the plugin that I needed to use. Okay. So I wonder if there's a way I can make this shape a little bit nicer. Maybe I'll just use nodes instead of, nodes and then data. Let's see. Because I actually think, yeah, there we go. Well, no, they still have nodes. Nodes is an object, or like, no. Each one is still an object with a data object. So I guess I'm going to have to iterate through the nodes and then dot into the data, or just like destructure out the data, unfortunately. I guess that makes sense. And then, yeah, I read online that the Airtable convention here is to, or the plugin, I can just bring over, let me bring over the plugin so people can see. But they say that it will turn our table name. Where's the table naming? Here we go. Where is it? They had a thing in there about, oh yeah, column names. There we go. So it'll automatically turn spaced out things into, what is that called? Snake case for us. So content, end date, event name, location, start date, type. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, so I think I literally just am going to copy this over and hide the terminal, close that out. And down in my query for here, way down in here. So I already have one for the image. I actually got to troubleshoot this a little bit, but because this is a little janky the way I'm doing this right now. But let's see. Underneath file, where's the other? I'm not getting very good syntax highlighting here. I might be using an outdated version of, instead of using GraphQL. Yeah, Josh, so this is, I'm using Peacock. So if you go to, so Peacock is this extension by John Papa. And what's great is that you can just like change your VS Code to be a different color based on what you're working on. So like this is Gatsby purple that I have this set to, so that when I see this like repo, I know that it's Gatsby that I'm working on. It really helps if you're doing things in like different, like I do work, work for Auth0 and personal work and like stuff like that. So it's really helpful. Fun fact, I'm actually the person who contributed the first favorite colors here. My PR was to add Angular Red, Auth0 Orange, Azure Blue, and Gatsby Purple, and then John added all these other ones. So anyway, it's just fun. It's just fun. It's silly, but okay. Gatsby, child image sharp. I just gotta get the spacing right here. I think I need to paste this here. I don't know why I'm not getting very good syntax highlighting here. So let's see. Closing brace, closing brace, closing brace, closing brace. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Am I off one? I can't tell. Let's see. Well, let's just see. Yeah, I had a feeling. I'm off. Expected name found. Yeah, so I think I one brace too many, maybe? There we go. Let's see if that works. Yeah, Jacob. Peacock is nice. I don't use it like all the time, but it occurred. I had this come up the other day where I was like, oh, what it was I'm making a course for Thinkster on the Apollo client for React, but I'm also doing content for Auth0 on Apollo. So I have all these repos that are really similar, and I'm losing track of like which ones are for Thinkster, which ones for Auth0, which ones are for like my own, just my like hacking to be able to make the content. And so I was like, man, if only there was a way I could keep track of which repo was doing what. And then I realized Peacock. Okay, so that seems like it worked, which is kind of bonkers. So I should be getting this. Let's try this. I should be getting... What's weird here is I may want to make this a... So this is MDX, so theoretically I can write JSX in here. Let's but it's probably going to make more sense to make this a component and then make this a static query that I just insert into this. But we'll get there. Because I think what I can do is say data, let's see, data dot, it's called all Airtable, I think. Data dot all Airtable dot nodes. Let's see. I think I can say data dot all Airtable dot nodes dot map. So I'll just do a quick check for that. And each one, we're going to... So we got to pull the data out. So we have to say const data equals node, I think. And then let's just to see if this is working. Data dot, what was it? Title. Let's just try data dot content. Or I think that's the link. So I actually want the event name. Let's try that. Let's just see. Let's just see if this like does anything. I might not be actually using this JSX right inside of here. Yeah, I'm not. So I need to... How does this work with writing JSX inside of Markdown? I guess I want to... Oh, I need to return this, don't I? I need to say return... No. Let me think about this. If I were doing this in a component, like with my egghead component, I just would do this. So I really need to define a component. That actually might make more sense anyway. So let me do that. I think that's going to make more sense anyway. And then I could do the use static query. So I'm going to do new component and call it talks.js. And import React. I'm also going to need use static query from Gatsby. Because, so page queries are used on pages, but then for components, you have to tell Gatsby that it's a static query. So I'm going to do that and do... How am I doing this? I'm bouncing between... The one thing that's annoying about React is that there's so many different ways of doing things. So I always forget, depending on the repo, which style of component I'm using. I think I'm doing this most places. So I'm gonna do this, but I want to do... I gotta remember how to look up... I gotta look up use static query again. So I don't remember where you use it or how you do it. Let's see. Gotta do... Ah, yeah, that's right. You just do it at the beginning with your thing. So GraphQL. This is good too, because then I'm not going to pollute that entire thing with whatever. I can say data dot... Okay, so now I'll go back and I'm just going to pull this out. Okay, that should fix. Oops. Did I mess something? Oh yeah, and then I gotta get rid of. I'm gonna do this. And just import talks from component/talks. Okay, that should solve my issues here. And now I'm going to Airtable query, paste this in. Awesome. Okay, that should make it. That should do the trick. So let's see. Say return data and data dot nodes dot map, right? Data and data nodes dot map. And then say node. And then we have to pull node dot data dot event name. And then looks like I've got some stuff going on here. Let's just, for now, I'm just gonna say this. I'll figure this out later. What's happening here? Oh, I'm just being. That should fix it, right? Okay. Cannot read property map of undefined. Okay, so I should be getting a data.all Airtable. What I should do is say like const talks data. I should do, yeah, talks data equals data dot all Airtable, right? Dot nodes. And that way I can say talks data dot map clearly doing something silly here. Let's just like print out that data actually, because something's weird about the formatting here. JSON.stringify. Oop. Actually. Aha. Okay. So we are getting it. So it's all Airtable dot nodes. So I don't think it's actually, yeah, data dot Airtable dot nodes is what we want. Data dot all Airtable, or it's all Airtable dot nodes. Let's see what that looks like. Yes. Okay. That's what we want. Okay. So I'll say const. Or I can do nodes talks data equals. Oh no, I have to do all Airtable equals data, and then destructure out nodes as talks data. Okay, and then that should produce the same thing, right? Yes. Okay. That's sort of a weird way of doing it, but that's okay. Okay, so we want to return. So for, oops, talks data dot map talk. Oh yeah, I have to do. I may as well just leave this as nodes actually, because nodes and nodes.map node. So I can say const talk equals node.data, and then return talk.event name. Right? What am I doing here? I'm obviously doing something silly with JSX and not realizing it. Am I being silly? What did I do on the blog? Oh, I probably need a fragment or something to. Do this. What is happening here? Why is this being so weird? Oop. We do this. Do this the dumb way. Data dot all Airtable dot nodes dot map. I'm so confused why it's... What is happening? Why isn't it doing this? Like, that seems to be working fine. It's not... It's, like, not letting me... What is going on? Data.all Airtable... I mean, I know I make dumb mistakes sometimes, but, like, I don't think I'm that dumb. This should be fine. I tried it with the fragment, and it didn't like it. Let's just do it with a div. And then map over it that way. Data.all Airtable dot nodes dot map node node dot data dot... Oh, cool. Hey, James. Using Airtable for the... Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, but seriously, what the fuck is going on here? I don't understand why it's not... Nodes. All right. Okay. But still, what is it doing? It's like... Well, let's see what's happening now. Okay. I think... I think it's something with this... Oh, well, that part, sure. Yeah, that's dumb. There's something about being on camera that makes you forget stupid stuff. Okay, thanks, James. All right, so that's good. That's what we want. So... Go ahead and do... Guess I'll just do like an ordered list and return just try to like take advantage of some of this stuff. Some of this is going to be a back and forth with the data of like what's actually in here. I think there is a link, wasn't... Let me look at my Airtable again. Event link. Do I have event link? Oh, I'm not getting event link in here. That's weird. I wonder if maybe it's because there's no data in there? That's interesting. Is that the same for slides? I bet that is. I bet it's only getting back columns if there's any data in them. That's interesting. So what happens if I just do like angulardenver.com and let's just do, I don't know what these are off the top of my head, but I'm just going to do this and see if that changes anything. Event link, slides. Maybe I have to restart the build. Yeah, I'm gonna use Airtable as the CMS for the talks because Airtable has a lot of nice ways that I can, like, they have an app for iOS, and so like I could add. They have an app, they have APIs, they have like all kinds of ways to add to it, and so instead of using something like Contentful or something. Yeah, so the UI on the app is really nice, like on the phone, because you don't have to enter, it's not a spreadsheet. Like, you can manipulate the spreadsheet, but it's also like a form. So that means I could just like add new items just whenever I was like thinking about it, or I could programmatically add them, or I could use like Siri shortcuts or something to programmatically add stuff. So I'm gonna find ways of like not having to do a lot of work all at once. So I have to figure out how I want to present this information, but I at least can get some stuff out there and iterate on it. So let's see. What I want is, if there's an event link, this is going to be a little tricky because I'm going to have consistent data. Event name, and then I can say, oh, I didn't account for the talk name. Ha! That's a vital piece of information. Because I want it to basically be like this, where I have the dates and the name of the talk, and then the slides and the video, which I'll probably make like emoji or something like that. So let's see. Start date, end date, event name, event link. So I guess I want a new column. Maybe I'll say topic, because then it'll be applicable to podcasts too. So topic. Oh, but what do I do if I gave multiple talks at one event? Yeah, so James, I already have my blog posts. I've moved over a bunch. I have a few left, but they're all in MDX, which is okay. Yeah, it works all right. I like it. I'm not sure if I'll continue to do that or if I might end up moving it. I'm really hesitant to move my writing to headless CMS, because it means if that headless CMS ever goes away, then, or if there's a better thing, then I've got to migrate all of it out. Whereas I feel like Markdown is here for a long time, but I don't know. Maybe I'm sure you can store Markdown in a headless CMS and then just export it if you need to back it up. I mean, I would think that that's a thing that people do, is write things in Markdown. But I kind of like owning, like having everything here. Yeah, I'm coming from Ghost, and the pain of having to migrate from Ghost has been like really annoying. And so I feel like I am a little gun shy about moving to another another CMS, even though like Ghost is also in Markdown, but it was also just like just a real pain. Like, so I can show you what I did, what the old Ghost site looks like, where you like Let me find a good... Right, so when you edit it, it's all in Markdown. So the migration process hasn't actually been that bad. It's just like such a pain to do it all. Which I guess it's like hypocritical to then put my talks in Airtable, but Airtable is just so nice. And for these are temporary talks. Okay, so I want to... Let's do this. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do topic. And then I have to do something like... What was this? So, the 2019 one, what did I do there? I think I did quantum facades. But I'll have to go back and look. Let's see. And that way it should pull that in on the next build. That is weird that it's that it doesn't pull in empty columns. That's counterintuitive, since SQL would always pull that in. Also kind of annoying that you have to rebuild it in order to pull that data back in. Let's see. This is a nice error message though. Okay, so that's building again. So I can do... Just want to at least get... That's actually really nice too that it... never mind. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to account for a lot of like weird things in data to display this, but that's okay. I'll get to that later. So I want to do like let's see, node.data.start date. What did I do? It'd probably be a lot smarter and easier to do this when I already have all the data filled in, but I try to have some sample data in there. It should be data.start date, right? I gotta format it. That's okay. I'll do that in a bit. And Angular connect. Sure, I'll compose all of this with components and stuff eventually. Say dot topic. And do don't need that. Okay. Slides. Do the same thing. Node.data.content, right? Is that what I said? Yeah, but I don't think I have anything in there, do I? Yeah, there we go. That's starting to shape up. I'm gonna have to do add some things based on type. Let's fix that formatting though, because that's kind of annoying. So I can do that with the query, I believe. I should be able to, yeah, do format string and do month, day, year. Month, day, year. That should And yeah. Actually, I should refresh the schema here. Now that I have all that. Cool, cool, cool. Just pull that back over. Okay. Close that. Nice. We're getting there. Little by little. Probably what I'll do is wonder if I should break this into different queries by year. I guess it doesn't really matter too much because it's all on the server side. There's no that this isn't gonna load on runtime, so that's actually pretty cool because I can splice and dice the queries however makes sense for programming it, but then in the end it'll just run. Okay, got that going. Let's do something cool with probably be good to have the type on here and style it some cool way, like with a label or something. So yeah, maybe make a styled component. Style.label. Let's just see what this looks like. Or node.data. Is that what I call it? Talk type? I called it type. Node.data.type. What did I do here? Is it at emotion / styled? Hey, that's something. I can kind of tweak this. Let's see. Do like I'll have different colors for the different types, I guess, and maybe add some padding, and maybe make the border radius 2. Yeah, that's not too shabby. Yeah. Something like that. That's not too bad. And then I can change it based on what type it is. I really like styled components. I'm a big fan. I didn't like it at first. I actually really hated it at first. So I suppose what I could do, I'm trying to think of the best way to compose these. Basically have a prop of the type and do a switch on it. That seems dangerous. To try to change the colors. Because I know you can do something like, and you can say props dot type equals conference. Make it light blue, otherwise, oops, props. Make it purple. I think I need these to be like this, right? Props. I've done this. I was doing this yesterday for something, and I can't remember the exact syntax. Props that type. I can't remember. I gotta look that up. Styled. I literally just looked this up. I can never remember the syntax for this. Adding based on props. Oh, I gotta wrap it. Yeah, that's right. I gotta wrap it in a variable. There we go. That should do it. Okay, and then if I pass in type equals node.data.type. Aha! That's one step. That's not, that's a fragile way of doing it. I'll have to keep experimenting because I know I'm going to switch on. I basically need to make this a function. Call the function. And say like const top color or like label color equals type. I basically do like a switch on type. Case conference. Turn light blue. Case podcast. I think this is. I'll have to. What I should do is. This is one of those times where I don't really want the front end to have to know about this. I'm not really convinced that there's a good way to do it. Let's see. Default. Just return white, I guess. Well, maybe like. Oh, I know. I can pull in the colors from the config. That's a great idea. Because I can do some stuff like this. Light blue. If I import theme from /conf, what is it? /config/theme. Okay. And then I can do theme.colors.lightblue. And theme.colors.primarylight for conferences. Or let's just get this working, and then I'll mess with it later. Theme.colors. I have a gray. Don't have like a gray one in there. Yeah. Let's see how this goes. Because then I can do props and call label color props.type. I gotta like return this or something. Right? Let's see. That should do it. Let's see. Hey, there we go. That's not too shabby at all. I mean, obviously I need to account for if there's not a topic there. And I want to make this bold. So I think what I want to do too is trying to think of the best way to organize this information. Also need to make these like conditional links, basically. If there's a slides present, then have it there. There's going to be a lot of ifs in this first iteration of this, but that's okay. I can refactor it later. Probably make some composable things based on the type. So we'll say, yeah, basically like if node.data.event link oh yeah, I have to do that above here, don't I? All right, good luck, James. That certainly does not look like light blue to me. It should be. Oh, weird. That is definitely not a light blue color. That's okay. I'll tweak that. This is at least getting me started on this project. So yeah, for this too. Let's import CSS for now. Oop. Erp. What's the thing for? It's not text decoration. I can never remember these properties. It's like the... It's not the decoration. It's like the... What is that called? LI with no bullet. Can never remember what that's called. List style type. That's what it is. So I'm going to make that list style type none. And I'm going to do... Break this. There we go. Okay. Ooh, this music is intense. Okay, so we're starting to get it going. I should probably just hide all of the data, but... Oh yeah, I can just do... What else do I want? I need the... That's video. So basically, if it's a conference, I'm going to also want the end date. Type equals conference. And... Uh-huh. That's something. Yeah, so then maybe it makes sense to do the talk type up here. Okay. So it definitely looks like there's going to be a big divide between conferences and meetups and podcasts as far as the structure of the data. If I look through, yeah, because a podcast isn't going to have... Yeah, podcast is going to have a different structure. So it seems like one of these needs to be... What did I put in for type? I put conference, meetup, online conference, podcast. Online meetups are definitely a weird thing. But I think podcast is going to be the weird one out. Because with a podcast, you're not really going to have the event link. You're just going to have the episode link. And you might have a topic, but you might not. Let's see. So basically, if it's... Yeah, I guess a conference is the only one that's going to have an end date. Everything else is going to be just a start date yeah. Or like a publication date, I guess. Also, definitely want to have more spacing underneath each of these items. So I could say margin bottom, like maybe more than that actually. Looks like I need more margin for this label too. Need like a margin bottom of like 2. Oh, that doesn't actually... Huh. Oh, because it's not in a div. Oh, it's not a... Yeah, you can't really do that with this, can you? So it's almost like we need more of a line height in... like a little bit more padding. Okay. Okay, so it seems like yeah. So if node.data.topic, then we want the... Or no, if we have an event link... I'm just going to build this out super messy at first, and then I'll clean it up. Refactor it so that it's actually nice. Yeah, I mean, obviously, the better quality data, the easier I can style this and everything so that it's not a big jumbled mess, but... what am I doing here? I need like a span or something there, I guess. Something like that. That way there's no... Yeah, there we go. That way there's no link. Okay, same with... Yeah, and with a podcast, it's not really slides and video. So it's more like... Here would be... another time where we would break this out and say like... no dot... Let's see. Oh, yeah. I know. I'm gonna do this, and I need to wrap that in a fragment. Okay. What do we got? Conference. This is all kind of a jumbled mess at the moment, but that's okay. Slides. video. Ah, that's supposed to be like that. Slides, video. And then looks like I need one more curly brace. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's getting there. Definitely need more space between all of these. The space between. Okay. What were these? These were Angular Denver. When was Angular Denver? I think I forgot to add that here. Okay. And then for this, what was this? September, May 28th. I'm going to try something with, I'll see if I can embed a markdown link in here. I don't know if that's possible or not. Okay. Let's see how this goes. Oh, but this isn't in a... Well, yeah, we'll see what happens. If I change that... Yeah, that didn't work. I guess I should have expected as much. Wonder if it works with HTML. That'd be kind of crazy. It probably shouldn't, because that would be bad. I would think it would, like, sanitize it. I would hope so, at least. What's saying unreachable? 11 and 14. Am I doing the switch statements wrong? I must be doing the switch statements wrong. Okay, good. Yeah, I would expect it to sanitize that and not actually send in HTML. That seems like a massive security problem if it did that. But just for fun, just trying it out. So I'm going to have to... Yeah, that's another thing. I'll have to... If there's a guest link or a co-host link or something like that, I'll have to add that to here too. There's a surprising amount of things you need to anticipate with event tracking that we're learning that at Auth0 too. All right. Where am I at? I want to add... What am I doing with those switch statements? Yeah, that's right. Case, break. Case, break, case, break. Why is that unreachable? Oh, because I'm returning. I guess I should probably do something more like this. I should say let color equals and then say right. Oops. There we go. Okay. And then I'll say basically podcast, and we'll say episode. Actually, episode. Okay. And actually don't want that. That's getting there. That's getting there. Okay. Probably also want to sort this by start date descending. So let's see. Sort fields. By data start date and order descending. Yeah. So I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to go back in time. I missed the DevEd podcast too. There was some stuff that happened. and it got squashed. But I miss it. I still think it was a really good concept. Okay. This Vaporwave channel really makes me feel like a hacker. Okay, we should now. Yes. No, that didn't do it. Oh, I forgot. Duh. I forgot to add. Forgot to add this to my actual query. You can't just do it in GraphQL and expect it to work. Nice. Man, I love this part of Gatsby, just being able to do GraphQL queries on this data. I'm also gonna change. Yeah. So if anybody listening has any suggestions on parsing out this format from with regex to not have to do this myself, to throw it into Airtable, let me know. Otherwise, I'm just gonna have to manually add all of them. Okay, so this is, I admit, this is like absolutely hideous code, and I'm gonna refactor it. Don't judge me. Okay. What else? Quantum facades. I should probably wrap this in quotes if there's a topic. This was demystifying NGRX. Demystifying token authentication in NGRX. Oops. Just so that we can see a more accurate picture here. Oh man, we interrupt this stream to bring you a Nathan Pyle cartoon that Amy just sent, because it now uses Animal Crossing. What are you reading? Independent Horticulture Strategies. That sounds intense. It is. I'll allow you to focus. Thank you. Nathan Pyle is the greatest. Okay, let's get back to Gatsby. Okay, I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. I don't need this anymore. I do need this to play around with my data. Okay. So this is starting to shape up. I guess the real question is, do I want to try to break it up by year? I kind of do. I kind of want... Should I do that in multiple queries, or should I do that once it seems kind of silly to get the data to run 3 different queries. Although I could, I suppose, do it all here. It is GraphQL, so I could... let's see. I mean, like, I could do something like 2016 data. Oh, that's like the ugliest thing. You can't even do that in JavaScript. I could do data 2016 or something and go and just have like multiple queries, but that just seems ugly. I should be able to like sort. I could do a sort by Do I still have access to, even though this is sorted by... I basically need to group... I wonder if I could use like a JavaScript set or something and check what the year is in the start date and group them into year categories. Seems like that's theoretically possible. Let me think about this. I'm the type who would want to figure out the regex, but would more likely just do it manually because the regex would take. That's the problem I have, Jacob. It's like I realize that in the long run, I'd be better off figuring out the regex because I'd level up my regex skills. But also, it's, I don't know. I mean, it might take a few hours to add all this stuff in, but there's so much variation just that we're seeing from this code. There's so much variation that like some of them have slides, some of them don't. Some of them have the event name at the end, some of them don't. So like figuring out the regex might be darn near. I mean, it might take much longer. And like, I don't know. There's always that XKCD about like use a regex. Now you have 2 problems instead of 1. So I'll probably just like slowly. I guess I could just slowly start adding them and then, yeah, remove them. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to do it all at once. I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and do it. Okay, so I don't know. Okay, this is an online meetup. This might be a good one to add. I still need to solve this problem though of grouping them by year because I'd like to be able to hide anything from like 2016 to 2018. I mean, I'd like to add like little arrows here and just collapse them by default. I just don't. I go back and forth about this because, like, you know, nobody really cares about this stuff. Like, about like, I probably should just use the highlights. I probably don't. I'm probably at the point in my career where I don't need to list out every single podcast I've ever been on. Probably just like the ones that are interesting or useful or something like that. Or certain talks that are important to me, like this Google Developer Experts one, or like NG Vikings or things like that. So let's just see. Is there a way? I bet in GraphQL I bet there's a way I can do this grouping in GraphQL now that I think about it. Yeah. Group. I forgot. I'm working with a query language. I literally am working with a query language. So I probably can do the grouping myself. So group by field. Let's see. Let's just do a little group by, let's see, GraphQL. Group by year. Here's a Hasura one. See, it looks like Airtable is already giving us this option. So what happens if I run group by start date? I think I'm going to end up having to have a year. You know, it'd probably be a heck of a lot easier if I just added a year column to this table. That's probably what I need to do. I wonder if Airtable has a calculated field. Like, I wonder if I could do insert left year and derive it somehow. That'd be a really good question for the Airtable people. There's a formula. Compare value in each record based on other fields in the same record. Let's see. Formula. Start date. Date time parse. Datetime format. Start datetime format. Let's see. Can I just do this? No. Yeah, so I could do start date. No. Datetime format. Do I need this? Oh! Okay, that's cool. Okay, see now. Aha. Okay. I will just calculate that year. See, hopefully now people are glad they stuck around. This is the stuff I'm good at. Okay, so we're calculating the year. And then now I can add this here. And let me restart this. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to group it by year. Let's just see. Cannot query field year. Let's see. Maybe it just takes it a minute to like... Yeah, there it goes. So I should be able to refresh GraphQL. And... I guess I don't need this anymore. Group. Okay, group by year. And I'm going to do the same thing, basically. Get the nodes, the children, and just all of this stuff. Cannot read property map of undefined. That doesn't make any sense. Huh. That's interesting. Run, filter, and sort. Oh, duh. I'm doing that. I just need to take that off, probably. Okay. So the question is, how are we going to know? Let's see. Let me change. I'm just going to change one of these to 2018, even though it's not true. That way that'll update. Oh, I gotta restart. I gotta rebuild. Whoops. So the question is, can I get the group field, the group value? Field value. Oh man, this is so good. Is this done building? Yes. Yes. Oh man, that's so good. GraphQL is so awesome. So let's see. Group. Let me just figure out how this is doing it. Okay. So it's got a group column. I just want to sort this. Do I sort that here? I think I sort it here. Sort by... I guess I don't want to sort it there. I want to sort the groups. I don't know if it'll let me do that. I mean, I can sort it by start date. Descending. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because I have a key there. So I can just... Yeah, but I do. I want to sort it by field value. Field... Limit skip. Field value. Will it let me... Children... There must be a way to do this. Field... Children... Oops. Can I just add a sort here? Can I do this? I don't know if it'll let me. Sort? No. I guess I can sort it in JavaScript if necessary. Basically just reverse order it. If I sort... It's like I want to sort the... I want to sort before I group or something. Fields... Start date. It works inside of the group, so that's good. Gosh, it's already 12:40. I suppose I should call it a day pretty soon. What day is it? What day is it? It's Thursday? Who even knows anymore? Okay. Yeah, I suppose I should call it there. I would really like to figure this out. GraphQL sort groups. Maybe this is a Gatsby thing. So... this got closed out. Somebody else opened a new issue, though. Let's see. Well, I can always, +1 this, I guess. Actually, maybe. Oh, maybe this is a good thing to stream. Maybe we could do like a pair programming on this issue. This is somebody just said this 11 days ago. I don't have the foggiest idea how you would actually implement this in the code, but that would be pretty awesome. Just over here plus wanting this feature. This would actually be super helpful. I guess for now, I will just sort the groups in the code. But this gets me, I mean, this gets me a good way there. I guess I could also, yeah. I can just sort it in JavaScript. It's not a big deal. It just would be nice to not have to. But yeah, so let's try this. If let's see, I need to add those format strings again. Month, day, year. And I'm gonna need the same thing on start date. And that should do the trick. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna replace my query. I have to stop that. Oops. Okay, that looks right. Okay, so now what we should get is all Airtable.group. So I should get const group and, oh no, I don't want to destructure that because I actually want, yeah, const group equals data.airtable or all Airtable, right? And then I want to say const sorted groups equals group dot. How does this look again? Yeah, group is an array. So I should be able to do something like group.sort and then pass in a function of the field value. So like group dot field value. How would I do that? Group, this is A and B, right? So like group A, group B, and group A dot field value. I got to return -1 or something, right? So group A dot field value is greater than group B dot field value. Something like this. This feels like an interview question. Let's see. Let me test this out in the browser here. So if I say let groups equal (2019) groups, right? Okay, so groups dot sort, and we're gonna say group A, group B. Let's say group A dot field value greater than group B dot. I guess we have to say like if group A dot field value is greater than group B dot field value, return -1. Right? Something like that. Hey! That's not bad. Not bad. That was like being in a JavaScript interview. That actually worked. Excellent. Not too shabby. So, yeah. Let's wrap this in a if and wrap this if group A dot field values greater than group A, return -1. Else return 1, right? Or do I need that? I don't know if I need that actually. So now I should be able to say, should be able to map over this. And instead of this, I should be able to say return const sorted groups dot map group and say h2 group dot field value, right? And then drag all of this stuff in and say sorted group dot nodes dot map or group dot nodes dot map. So I should be able to just drag this down here, right? Group, Oh, this should be parentheses, shouldn't it? So all the way down here should be parentheses. And I think I need that to go away. Group, and then return. What am I missing here? Oh, this probably needs to be the thing that's in a fragment too, because it has to be one, has to return one element. Group. Oh, and then I need another parentheses and the bracket. Like that. There we go. Okay. I'm going to refactor this, but let's see what we got. Oh, did I... What's going on? Did I crash the server? Oh, I stopped the server. Actually, almost got this working the way we want it to, though, so that's good. And by we, I mean I. So this little section would actually make a pretty interesting video. This like calculated column and sorting the column. Haha! Oh, they're in the wrong order. So I messed something up. Why did that work in the console? Return if group A is greater than group B. Return -1. I did something different. Group A. Maybe I don't want this. That's weird. Let's see. Sort. What did I do wrong? JavaScript sort array by object value. I've done this before. I swear. Yeah. Oh, I think I have it backwards, actually. I think I want to do return 1, otherwise return -1. Let's try that. Yeah, there we go. So I had it backwards, but I had the rest of it right. And I should extract that to, like, I don't really need to, well, I don't know. I go back and forth. I guess I could do a ternary there to make it a little bit better and say group A greater than group B. Return 1. Otherwise, return -1. That should still work. Yeah. Okay, all right. I actually feel pretty good about this. This is good, because this means I can start loading up this data, and I'll at least get... I'll at least get this going, then I can tweak the UI and refactor all the code so that it accounts for, like, these different one-offs and stuff like that. Cool. Actually, so let's add ngconf. Now that I have that, I can say ngconf hardwired ngconf.org, the role of effects in NGRX authentication conference. Actually, this is an online conference. That kind of throws it off. For now, I'm going to leave it because April 1st, 4/1/2020 to 4/3/2020. Oh, that's weird. Oh, there it goes. Online. Slides were at samj.im/ngconf hardwired. And the content, I just shared it recently. ngconf.org. I think it's up here. Let's see. There we go. Right here. So yeah, let's see what happens now if I have a 2020 talk, so we can test this process. Haha. Yes. This is definitely shaping up, because I'll be able to have a show or hide button here, and I can just collapse basically say, like, if the field value here matches the current year, then expand it. Otherwise, collapse everything. I like it. Cool. All right, well, this seems like a great stopping point. Thanks to everyone who hung out. Let me see who else is streaming so I can send you to other people. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Jacob. We didn't get into the cool stuff until later on. This actually turned out to be kind of interesting, like this having to figure out the calculated year column and then grouping everything together. We even found an issue for Gatsby. So there's some interesting stuff going on here. And yeah, I think I'm gonna see if anybody from Gatsby might want to do like a pair up on this. I know they do that. I mean, I don't care about doing the issue myself or getting the credit for anything, but maybe I can facilitate somebody else doing it. Yeah, sweet. Looks like James is still going, so I'm gonna send folks over to James. And yeah, I really appreciate everybody, and I will see you all. I should be back next Thursday with Mike Ryan again. We were gonna do it this Thursday, and we ran into a snag with his schedule. So I should be back same time next week with Mike Ryan to do NGRX and GraphQL stuff, take 2. All right. Thanks, everyone.